In this video we're going to be tabulating our win-loss ratio. For the purpose of the video, I've just took on five silly trades, and with the stats we will see how well I did by calculating the win-loss ratio. To get that information, what you'll need to do is obviously in your MetaTrader, go through to your history. Once you're inside there, right click on report and open that with your Microsoft Excel. On Mac, I want to just save it to desktop and click save and allow it to open. Now that we have the report, I'm just going to maximize the screen and then just zoom in a bit. So first thing I'm going to do is under the P column is just type in the category win / loss as a header, and then underneath that, before we go underneath that, rather under R, I'm going to go to the 7th row, so column R, 7th row, and just type in the number 0. Before we continue, I just want to let you know this is my kind of primitive first attempt at creating a win-loss ratio. If there is a better way, feel free to share it with me. I'm not an Excel document, I just try to make it work. So here we are. Win-loss ratio will be the formula that you now just copy and paste into that cell. So just head over there, type in, or just copy and paste, and then that will show us what the result of that is. So what this formula is doing is in the cell M8, if that is greater than 0, it will say win. All right. If, for example, we go to just drag that down a cell, you'll see that because the figure is negative than 0, it will say loss. All right. So what you need to do is just go to the bottom right of that cell and drag it all the way down to the bottom of what your profit lines are. Okay, so for this example, thankfully there's only 5 that we are looking at. You might have days or weeks of documents of trades, so you might have to click and drag down to the next page. Just use your kind of common sense, respectfully, just use kind of common sense to navigate your personal requirements to ensure that obviously a great result comes out of this experiment. So win-loss, we've got here 3 wins and 2 losses, obviously shown over there. I want to count how many wins and losses by using an instruction for Excel. All I need to do is copy and paste into there, and then you'll see that the output is 3. I suppose what I haven't mentioned yet is that this range is calculating from column P, row 8, down to P, row 12. Make sure that that's relevant for yours as well. So this could be column 100 or column 200. Just make sure it brings in all of that information and then tabulates it correctly. So I'm going to use the same formula in the column next to it. Just going to copy paste, and instead of where it says win, I'm just going to write loss. And what this formula does is it counts the amount of losses between column P, row 8, down to column P, row 12. And to get the ratio in a new cell, we divide the one by the other, which it reminded me that my columns were incorrect. So just make sure yours are correct. So I want to say P13 divided by Q13 will equal 1.5. All right, so something to notice here is that my win-loss ratio is above 1. All right, so that's something you're going to look for. Is yours above 1? As this will indicate if your win-loss ratio is above 50%. All right, so are you winning more than you're losing? If your ratio is below 1, that means that you have more losses than wins. Something to mention is that this is one of the metrics we're going to be keeping track of, as this metric on its own isn't quite enough. It doesn't indicate one's overall success. You might be winning, but your losses could be larger in value than your wins. All right, so this is just the win-loss ratio. So use this as an indicator to show whether or not you're winning per trade more than you're losing. And then the other numbers like your risk reward ratio, your win streaks, that's constant wins in a row, and the overall profit will work alongside this to show you how you're doing. In terms of showing you how you're doing, what we want to do is start your trade day by analyzing your personal numbers. And before getting into your trades for the day, just be cognizant of what your performance is like at the time. This should help govern you from being reactive to the market and over trading and making unnecessary trades. A lot of traders will try and be superheroes by making multiple trades in a day, which will be more than what they need to be doing, thinking that because the market is moving, that they should be trading. The market isn't always ideal. So what we want to do is come from a place of discipline where we are satisfied with hitting our daily targets and then moving on with our lives. Of course, we can always be making more money. However, you might be trapped into the cycle of greed if you think that way, going back to professional trading where you need to be self-constrained. We need to have that self-discipline. You want to hit your daily target and not really care what price action is doing. All right, so that's going to set you apart from all the other wannabe traders and put you into a position where trading can be your career.